What's going on, you Fortnite champs and champettes? I don't know why I said it like that, but in today's YouTube video, we're going to be talking about some interesting things going on with Fortnite OG. Now, this is stuff that is going to be happening in January, so it won't be going live as of right now, but I thought I would still go ahead and, give you guys the rundown on it so that you can be aware of when it actually changes, and if you're someone who hasn't been actually playing Fortnite back in the OG days of Chapter 1, you can know what this change actually is. Now, when you're playing Fortnite OG, you have the old map and everything else. It's pretty cool to see, but there is one thing that isn't truly OG. You look in the sky, you look at the lighting and everything else, and you see more of a modern lighting going on. The clouds are more volumetric, there's more stuff kind of going on there, and a great example of this is the game at nighttime. On screen right now, you're seeing what is the Fortnite OG graphics, the Fortnite OG map, but at night with the more modern graphical settings. And Epic Games has known this is one of the concerns of Fortnite OG because it kind of takes away from that true OG experience to the point where, as you can see by the image I'm about to delay it to, they're changing the graphics of Fortnite OG. Now, when the V39.20 update releases in January, we'll be going from this set of graphics right here where there's a lot of clouds, there's a lot more kind of like shine going on to like the Aurora Borealis, and it'll be going to a more cleaner, old school sky lighting that you had more reminiscent to the actual Fortnite OG days. To most people, this might not mean too much, but it is still a pretty big change to the game because it means that they're fully going to commit towards actually having that OG aesthetic even more than they've already done in recent times. Now, their official statement regarding this goes as follows. Missed the old OG sky lighting? So did we. We've seen the community's feedback about the current OG sky lighting and understand that many of you missed the classic colors from previous years. In V39.20, we'll be making adjustments to bring back a version inspired by, so it's not going to be a one-to-one, but it will be inspired by the old lighting in order to recapture the authentic atmosphere players remember from the Fortnite OG days. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and helping us make the experience better with each update. Now, if you guys haven't been aware, there's a guy on social media named AliJax over on Twitter who, when you go to his account, you can see that he loves the Fortnite OG days. He loves old school Fortnite, and he wants it to be as great as it can possibly be. However, there's been a lot of issues with new season launches and stuff where he has actually gone above and beyond anyone ever seen in the community and went ahead and mentioned to Epic Games and stuff like, hey, if you put these exact hotfixes in your game, it will fix the issues with like gun recoil and all that type of stuff, and it will help you actually, optimize the game a little bit more for the average player, for the community, in order to actually enjoy it, and for us to have true OG in Fortnite when it feels like, it's kind of just a new off-brand version in a way, right? So AliJax has done a lot of cool work, but because of him, he's how I know a lot of the stuff kind of happening with Fortnite OG and how there's all this stuff that could be a possibility in the mode that just sadly kind of gets missed because, Fortnite OG obviously isn't the core mode that gets focused on the most. There's a lot more higher focuses for Epic Games like Battle Royale, the Disney mode, all that type of stuff. So it's just a cool thing to see that they're still willing to do some small things here. For example, having like Christmas decorations all over the place for Winterfest, having the lighting being changed to that new, or I guess the new old lighting, I guess you would call it, and just continuing to make more and more bug fixes to the mode. But I would like to hear in the comments down below, what do you think about this? Do you think this is something that doesn't really matter too much? Do you think it's something that is actually really cool to see? I think personally, as someone who has played Fortnite back in the OG days, but I haven't really played Fortnite OG ever since its return, I left like Chapter 1 back in Chapter 1 and haven't really touched it since. It honestly is cool to see that they're at least willing to go ahead and give a better and better experience. Of course, we have newer things that are still enabled in this mode, like the quick build thing, or however this actually works. I'm still kind of confused on how that system works, but those are just modern improvements. Like, we didn't have sliding, we didn't have mantling or anything like that back then, but it's some of the modern core improvements of Battle Royale that just feel like they're kind of needed nowadays, even if the old maps weren't really made for those original systems. But I still think even though we have a more modernized version of Fortnite OG nowadays, it's still cool to see that they're willing, based on community feedback, to actually bring back some more aesthetics and things that people enjoyed from back then, even if there's, more things they could change. Like, for example, if they really wanted to, the sprinting mechanic, all that type of stuff, they could change that. Because I remember back in the day when I was working on like a creative death run, being able to actually disable sprinting and mantling are actual options in the game. So if there's enough community feedback for those types type of changes, they 100% could go ahead and be like, you know what, since you guys don't want this system, we'll go ahead and improve Fortnite OG even more and have these kind of older systems in place. That said, however, I thought I would just give you guys a little bit of an update regarding Fortnite OG because I thought it was a pretty interesting thing to see Epic Games kind of announce it now when it's not even going to be coming for, you know, like not 20 days, but probably more like 15-ish days. So until next time, hope champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow on another upload. So until then, peace out.